Did you spot that? In the background, Mr. Krabs' shirt is white, but right before that, it was its usual blue color. Here are 27 mistakes you missed in SpongeBob. First up for our list today is Frankendoodle from Season 3. This is a unique and really funny episode, but it's got a few errors that we can't overlook, even if they're small. Let's check out some iconic clips first.
Pencil!
The artist has learned the first lesson of the sea. Always bring a spare pencil.
Oh, Squidward!
What do you want? Hello, what's this? Someone left me some money for a perm.
He's going to the door.
He's knocking on the door. Squidward's answering the door.
Did you notice anything weird here? SpongeBob and Patrick ring Squidward's doorbell, but when he answers, there's no doorbell in sight. Even when Doodlebob goes up to the door, he knocks instead. And again, there's no doorbell.
Almost there.
What just happened?
What just happened indeed? Did you see that? Instead of walking into frame on the left-hand side, SpongeBob and Patrick just suddenly pop up over there, fully in frame, and then they start walking. It's a really weird error.
See what I mean, Patrick?
Where's the leak, ma'am?
This mistake is really small, and so it probably went unnoticed for a while. But this is one of Patrick's most popular quotes, so someone was bound to notice the mistake. Right when Patrick starts saying his line, SpongeBob moves his arms down to the side. When he does that, the side of his belt vanishes. So when Doodlebob is first drawn, he has 3 fingers, which we can see right here. But later on, when he's stealing the pencil from SpongeBob's house, he has 4 fingers. It's not like he was able to draw anymore since he didn't have the pencil. When he does redraw himself, he has 3 fingers again. Another weird thing happens soon after.
Who knows what'll happen?
Doodlebob very clearly erases the door right before he goes after SpongeBob. But in the next shot, when Doodlebob is walking through the doorway, you can see the door opened behind him. It definitely shouldn't still be there. Next up is one Krabs Trash. The primary mistake in this episode has to be inconsistencies. They're everywhere, if you know where to look.
A yard sale. You know the old saying, one man's trash is another man's treasure.
That looks like the toilet plunger I threw out yesterday.
That ain't no toilet plunger. This here's an antique. It's a 17th century soup ladle. See?
Man, was I using mine wrong?
Right near the start, SpongeBob tries to buy something from Mr. Krabs' yard sale. He has 1 bill in his hand at first, then goes to search his house for more money, finding a few coins here and there, but never a dollar bill. When he returns, he suddenly has an extra bill in hand plus the coins. This next error doesn't fit what we already know, which is that SpongeBob's room is on the 2nd floor. We saw him run out of his room and down a set of stairs from Doodlebob in the last episode. But in this scene, Mr. Krabs is sticking a fishing pole through the 1st floor window and into SpongeBob's room, which isn't supposed to be on the 1st floor. Right after this, we see Squidward's house in the background when SpongeBob is talking. But then, when Mr. Krabs walks away, Squidward's house is nowhere in sight.
Here lies Squidward's hopes and dreams. What a baby. I've checked every headstone in this cemetery, and there's no Smitty Webba Blabba buried here. Think, Krabs. Maybe something SpongeBob said will give you some kind of clue.
Remember, he was number 1.
Ah! Barnacles! I'll never find...
Notice anything weird? Mr. Krabs is searching the graveyard, and he's surrounded by headstones when he starts thinking about what SpongeBob said. Then, when he brushes away the thought bubble, he's suddenly standing before one giant headstone that wasn't there before. It's not like he was walking as he was thinking. It just appears. Mr. Krabs digs up the grave to get the hat, and this dead guy's neck clearly has a vertebrae. But when he stands up and starts talking to Mr. Krabs, he only has 1 neck bone.
I've got $1 million!
Well, you can't find bargains like that anymore, but when I first got into the...
Oh, there you are!
Now we'll be taking a look at sister episodes Nasty Patty and Idiot Box. These two are really good, but there are a few flaws. Let's check out some clips from Nasty Patty first.
You loony loofah! He is the imposter! We've been duped!
Duped!
Bamboozled!
We've been Smeckledorfed!
That's not even a word, and I agree with you.
They feed the health inspector the Nasty Patty because they think he's a fake, and it doesn't go well. Watch what happens and try to spot the error.
Hello, delicious. Come to Papa.
Did you see it? The health inspector drops the Nasty Patty to the floor, but when we see it, the parts strewn around look like regular Krabby Patty pieces.
What's this wee stuff? You fed him the tainted patty. Looks like it's the stony lonesome for you.
But you told me to give it to him.
When SpongeBob starts talking, did you see what happened to his nose? It randomly flashes blue for a second, making it the same color as his eyes. So they think they've killed the health inspector by accident and then try to bury him. As they're dragging the not-so-dead body up the hill, there is no hat on his head. But then, when the rock hits him in the head, the hat is back. This isn't the only mistake to happen when they're trying to bury the body. There are a lot. They bury the health inspector vertically, with his head sticking up out of the ground. But when the rain washes the dirt away, he's laying horizontally on his back. Now for Idiot Box. Here are some clips to summarize this episode.
Easy.
Just when I thought they couldn't get any stupider. Don't you two have any brains?
Squidward, we don't need television. Not as long as we have our imagination.
This mistake happens multiple times. Every time SpongeBob makes a rainbow, it's wrong. And actual rainbow's colors are flipped, with red on top and purple at the bottom.
And there it is. Can I have it, SpongeBob?
Sure, Squidward.
Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Where's that remote?
There are two instances here of lips not syncing with their words, and it happens both times to Squidward. When he says, "oh boy," and walks away, his lips don't move correctly with the words. And when he asks, "where's that remote?" his mouth doesn't close. An error happens with poor Squidward again. When he's having an existential crisis because of the box, his forehead wrinkles disappear for a second. Squidward finally gets in the box and tears up the note he sees, scattering pieces on the ground. They're there almost the entire time he's in the box, but between these two shots here, the pieces disappear. Near the end of the episode, when the garbage truck picks up the box, SpongeBob's house is missing, and there's a random arrow on the box itself that wasn't there at any other point in this episode.
Hey, our box is gone.
And at the very end of the episode, the path to Patrick's house is missing. And the last one we'll be looking at for today is, Can You Spare Me a Dime?
Closing time at the Krusty Krab.
Everything looks to be in order, except... Where is it? Where is it?
What?
My dime!
Are you accusing me of something?
Well, the way I see it, there are three possibilities. 1, you stole it. 2, you stole it. Or 3, you stole it!
Here, see him.
You can't do that to me! I'm your boss!
Not anymore, Mr. Krabs.
While Squidward and Mr. Krabs are getting into it over a dime, there's a weird error here. When Squidward squeezes Mr. Krabs' eyes, his tentacles leave impressions on his eyes as if he had fingers, but he doesn't. While unemployed, Squidward takes advantage of SpongeBob's generosity. When SpongeBob brings Squidward a drink, it has a red straw in it, but during the close-up, the straw turns white. A similar error happens soon after, with things looking different during close-ups. And I don't mean looking overly detailed for effect. I mean things just not looking the same at all. There's this purple blanket with flowers on the bed, but during the close-up shot of the soup, the flowers are gone.
Listen, you crustaceous cheapskate! Squidward's been living at my house, driving me crazy, and you're not gonna hire him back all because of a stupid dime! What's that?
Me first dime!
That's one big dime. It fell so hard it cracked the floor. But the floor is only cracked during the faraway shots. Did you notice anything different during the close-up? The floor wasn't cracked at all.
Well, Mr. Squidward, it's good to have you back.
Well, it's kind of good to be back, sir.
It's all water under the bridge now.
I agree, sir.
As Squidward and Mr. Krabs kinda, sorta make amends, they go in to shake hands, and the boat suddenly is not there anymore. Well, that's all for today. If you enjoyed it, be sure to subscribe. Then click the video on screen to watch our newest video. See you there.